We've looked at analysing the composition of a painting and then using that analysis to create a framework. This is a useful tool to assist your artistic practice. I'd like to take this further and look at how to create a framework from scratch. This might seem daunting when I first suggest it, but every image has a framework, and anybody who has created a piece of artwork has also created a framework. We found the triangular framework in images by Raphael and Tintoretto. You could analyse any piece of artwork and reduce it to the framework. That is its basic shapes and structure. A lot of artists don't plan a framework. They allow the subject matter to take shape, and this causes the framework to take shape. The artist focuses on other things, and the framework becomes a byproduct of their focus on subject matter. This can be problematic because if you don't think about the framework, then you can end up with an image that has an unbalanced structure. Some artists intuitively create an interesting structure when creating a piece of artwork. They might not consciously consider the structure, and as a result, they might struggle to explain their decisions. Having a conscious understanding of how to create a framework can improve your artwork and your understanding of your own artistic practice. When we analysed the triangular structure of a painting, we were left with a framework. Those frameworks were just images of triangles. I want you to create some drawings that feature nothing but large triangles. This will be the framework for your work. I don't want you to add too much detail because this is a framework for a piece of artwork. This isn't the finished piece. So save your detail until the time is right. You might be wondering why I want to focus solely on triangles. We've already seen that triangles are an amazing shape, but does that mean they are the only interesting shapes that we can use in our framework? Triangles aren't the only shape that can be used as a framework. We could use squares or rectangles. The rule of thirds could be considered a framework, and that was mainly rectangles. We also saw rectangles in the diamond guide, along with triangles and diamonds. And we could consider the diamond guide to be another framework. I designed the diamond guide to incorporate a triangular structure because it creates an interesting composition. There are other shapes that can be used. However, I wouldn't use circles. They're an important shape to use in a painting, but in the C1 art composition course, we looked at how to balance a piece of artwork. We learned that if we begin with a framework that is mainly angles, then we should add curves in order to create balance. This is why I don't think circles are necessary when we are creating the framework first. If you use a combination of circles, squares, and triangles, then it's not going to be simplistic. As the shapes overlap, lots of different, more complex shapes will be created. The framework is the backbone of the image, and a simple structure will balance an image that is full of detail. We want simplicity, so we can add complexity in the detail of our final image. For now, I think we should focus solely on triangles and nothing else. To begin, I created 20 images of triangles. Drawing triangles isn't time-consuming, So this is a quick, easy exercise, and it gave me a collection of triangular frameworks that I could choose from. When I created these images, half were landscape and half were portrait, I would do a few landscape images and then a few portrait images. I didn't want to do all of the portrait images in a row because it might have led to images that were too similar. It was good to have the opportunity to step back, and working in a different format helped me to do that. If the basic shapes look interesting, then it will lead to a more interesting final piece. It isn't one thing that creates a good painting. There are lots of aspects to focus on, and it's helpful to be conscious of each area that demands your focus. Knowledge in every area will benefit your artwork. The framework is an important area to focus on.